Hi guys, this is going to be a hard episode to shoot because behind me people are enjoying themselves in the swimming pool and I'm not. I want to talk about something that is a bit but just because it's My name is Mutua Mabeka. I'm a photographer from Nairobi, Kenya. Welcome back to another episode of the vlog. Today I'm in sunny Vipingo. This is technically a vacation. This one is an episode to talk about how to switch off your mind during your vacation. Now, the irony is not lost on me that I'm shooting this while on vacation. But as you can see, there's a way to mix work and pleasure sometimes. As someone who's tried on and off to take vacations for the past 7 years since I became a photographer, I don't know if I've gone on a real vacation where I switch off everything. And by everything I don't mean phone, I mean switch off my mind, switch off, especially switch off my mind from everything going on at the office. But it has been a work in progress. I've been reading about it and I have a few solutions that I think work for me so far, like on this specific one. Let's talk about that. First of all, we all know that as creatives we never relax, like we never take time off. Even when we're on time off, we are busy shooting like I am right now. The body is always working. But even when the body is resting, the mind is always working. Hashtag workflow, hashtag on the grind, hashtag can't stop, won't stop, hashtag. This is a celebrated opinion in the creative world, but I believe for myself, from my experience, that time off is so important from the things that are doing. And I also understand that not everyone can go on vacation because we need money, we need to keep working so that we can survive. I understand this fully, believe me. One of the things that I read from Austin Kleon. One of the things I read from his book, Show Your Work. Some people work for 6 years, take a year off. Sometimes many people can't do this. But he talked about how you can take a mini sabbatical, like you can use some little pockets of time in your day to just get your mind off work. When you get into that matatu and you're going to work, you can use that time to read a book. When you're reading that book, and not a book about your work, but when you're reading that book, your mind is not thinking about your project, your deadline, your client. It's just in that. If you work in your house, like I do, then you have to find a way to separate your work with your daily life so that it's like you go to work and you come back to life. And this is hard because our work is our life. Do some exercise. If you run or play sports or join a gym, the time that you're in the gym, your mind is so actively working out that it's not concerned with the things that are going on in your daily life at that moment. You can take little chunks of time between your day to not be thinking about work, and I think that is extremely healthy for a creative mind. Sometimes some of the best ideas come not when you're working but when you're on your time off. Like when I had the accident, I injured my leg, had to stay home on rest, like not bed rest but couch rest. Is that a thing, doctors? But I was on the couch for 3 months. I was on crutches for 2 months, and during that time I was extremely bored. Like you can imagine, I've been used to working daily. That's when I decided to activate my YouTube channel. I was like, since I'm in the house, I can shoot videos in the house and post them, and that's how this was born. I've read about some companies and some creative people who have done or who have thought of the best projects in their time off. And I thought that was an interesting concept. Taking time away from work and then making some of your best work because of the time that you took away from work. Sometimes your time off might yield some of the best projects that you can get back to work on when you get back to work, that you can get that you can get to work on when you get back to work. One other reason why it's extremely important to take time off is to avoid burnout. Even machines cannot run forever without needing servicing, without needing changing of a part. Even if you try to just chain your projects together continuously, one after the other, at some point you have to come back up for air. At some point you have to stop and repair something, and God forbid that the thing you're repairing is not your health. Imagine me being a photographer and just disappearing from my work for a year. Like, who even does that? Whose wallet is set up this way? I think with proper planning, it's possible. You just have to, number one, plan your finances. Number two, plan your communication. And number three, plan your, not plan your clients, but like, yeah, plan the way you deal with your clients. With finances, you just need to make sure that all the jobs that you've done have been paid for, and that you've saved up money that can be used in your time off and still have money left for when you come back to work. With planning, you could probably do that. Get a lot of work done when you're working so that it can support your time off. With the communication, you just need to be able to communicate to your clients way in advance. The people who will need you, let them know that you will not be available. The people who will want to give you work, let them know that you will not be available for a certain time. So this is the time to give you work, or they can plan for when you come back from your sabbatical. When done in advance, then people are okay with it, because, you know, it's like they feel you treated them importantly enough to let them know what is going on. I think it's important to find a way to do this. The rest time is as important as the work time, if not more important. Honestly, I am not an expert at this. I'm just coming into a little understanding on how important it is to take that time off, and I've kind of now figured out a way for that to happen, and I'm sure it will get better with time. I'll just keep tweaking it. So maybe there will be another version of this video in about a year or in 2 years if I'm successful in that process. Oh yeah, one other thing that I do myself is, because I find it very hard to just disconnect and just lay down and do nothing for days, is that I do what I'm doing now. It's going to be a vacation, but for 3 hours a day maybe I'm going to do some work, and by doing that I feel like I'm getting things done, but at the same time I'm doing more relaxing than getting things done. Shooting this is part of my 3-hour gap of work. For me, like, that eases off some of the guilt some of the guilt from knowing that I'm doing nothing. Makes me feel better about relaxing. I don't know, different people have different coping ways. I know I can't shut off 100%. I'm working towards it, but at least now it's on like 60%. That's helpful, I think. Not too bad, but anyway. Hi. On that bombshell, I think I can finish this right here, because clearly the water is calling me a lot more than this. If you liked it, like it. If you really like this, share it with your friends. It's a wrap from me. Bye bye.